Welcome to Spam Filter for Your Brain, bite-sized ponderings on how our thoughts influence our behaviour and our lives, and because we're all connected, how our thoughts impact the world. I'm here to help people reconnect with their bodies and declutter their brains. And I don't believe that we should just magically know how our emotions and our thoughts impact our lives if no one ever teaches us. So let's learn this stuff together. What could you achieve in your life if you were willing to feel disappointed? But let's take a little step back. What does disappointment feel like for you? Where is it in your body? What kind of thoughts come up for you when you feel disappointed? Disappointment is this really insidious little emotion that convinces us that we are in danger and that we probably shouldn't try, and that you don't want to put all of your eggs in one basket. And generally, if you can sort of keep yourself in a mild state of anxiety and disappointment, then later on you won't experience any disappointment or anxiety. The way that we approach this feeling of disappointment, it's like a fire blanket to everything that lights your life up and puts that little sparkle into your days. We fear disappointment like it's poison in our lives. And in many ways it is. It's poison to you being able to take risks that stretch you to a place where you can learn new things and experience new things and step out of your comfort zone. And stepping out of our comfort zone means that there might be a risk that we could get something wrong. And our brains panic when we think that we might get something wrong. And your brain is absolutely hardwired to try and keep our lives small, safe, protected. Your brain's job is to try and keep you alive, not to be your friend. So we are genetically disposed to try and be as fearful as possible. And fear doesn't always arrive with like hazard tape and flashing signs and danger noises. Sometimes fear is very clever, and our brains are very clever at tricking us into trying to make sure that we don't do anything that's going to jeopardize our safety. Like, I don't know, returning that text message, or going to that party, or asking for a pay rise, or deciding that you're going to write a book, or swim the channel, or anything else that you feel might be slightly like, what are your big goals that you're planning for the new year? Quite often you might have some burning desire that you used to have when you were a kid, and for some reason, namely the fear of disappointment, that's kind of got sidelined, and we present it in very, very sort of pragmatic terms, like, oh, I need to be realistic. When actually we're the ones who decide what realistic is. We make all of this stuff up. We're the grown-ups. We get to make the rules now. And so fear arrives in sneaky little ways that's going to try and convince you that what the thing that you're about to do is probably not a good idea. And fear might arrive for you in a shape of, oh, I don't have enough time. Or that's going to be a lot of effort. Or I just don't have the skill set. Other people are better than me. Other people might laugh at me. How does fear show up for you? Because when it is a feeling of disappointment, it kind of sneaks around the edges like a little bit of an oil slick. And you just notice that maybe you're not taking any actions towards the things that really could put a sparkle in your eye and fill your soul. There are so many opportunities that we have during this New Year period to really reflect on the things that we want to create and craft and bring into our lives for the coming New Year. And this is a really fantastic opportunity for you to pause and think about, if you knew that you could survive feeling disappointed, what would you choose to do with next year? What would your big goals be? And when I say that you're willing to feel disappointed, that might feel really icky to you. But if you think about what disappointment feels like in your body, when you name the physical sensations that alert you to the fact that it is the emotion that's going on, somehow all of the fire and the heaviness of it is slightly reduced. So maybe disappointment for you feels like a heaviness in your stomach, tightness in your chest, a dryness in your mouth, maybe a sort of shallowness of your breathing. If you were explaining this to somebody who's never experienced emotions before, if you were explaining this to a tree, maybe trees have emotions. I don't know. I'll go and ask one. But if you were trying to explain what disappointment feels like to somebody in terms of physical sensations, would you be willing to experience having like a tight belly and a dry mouth in order to get a book published, or go and take those swimming lessons every day, or maybe go and ask that person out, or like maybe sign up for a line dancing class that you've always really wanted to do? Who knows what your big thing is? But maybe if you were willing to know that you could handle any emotion in your body, because our emotions are just physical sensations that you've dealt with 100,000 million times in your body before, that's the worst that could happen is a physical sensation in your body that you can just process, then we don't need to avoid them. We can begin trying to teach our brains that it's safe to take risks, and it's safe for us to be able to grow, learn new things, and go on new adventures. I'm really hoping that 2023 is filled with many adventures for you. If you want to drop me a line and let me know what your New Year's resolution and your New Year's adventures are going to be, then I would love to hear them. I hope this has been useful. If you're enjoying what you're hearing on the podcast here, I would love to invite you to Self-Care School. Self-Care School is a membership site where we have group coaching calls every week. We have a whole load of courses that you can dip into for whatever suits your needs. We have courses on confidence, body image, timekeeping, how to manage big emotions, overwhelm, loads and loads of stuff in there. You can kind of pick out whatever you want to work on. There is a big library of workbooks, which includes journal prompts and questions for you to be able to apply this work to your own life. And we have the most amazing community where people support each other, we learn from each other, and you get to work alongside people with quite often very different life situations to your own, and we learn so much together in community. If you would like some more of this, please do hop over to selfcareschool.co.uk.